I've been in a 12-year ambiguous relationship with my childhood sweetheart Ian Gu, officially dating for 3 years. Yet, we haven't taken the final step. Today, his adopted niece Cecilia Gu called me in tears, begging me to come to his house immediately. Sister Fiancé, please come quickly. Young uncle, I can't hold on much longer. Ian's faint moans could be heard in the background of the call. Suddenly, a row of live comments flashed before my eyes. Oh heavens, the male lead has been drugged. If the female side character goes now, she'll just become his tool. The heroine deeply loved her uncle, yet she had to call upon the supporting female character to bring them together. Her little sister's heart was utterly shattered. Young uncle, when will you realize it's baby sis you truly love? My heart trembled. Isn't this the classic plot of the uncle-niece trope? After the male lead does it with the female side character, he takes responsibility, only to later pursue the female lead with the groveling trope, suffering for no reason. Full marks to the comment above. Later, the female side character, unwilling to let go of the male lead, who by then was her husband, drives baby sis away. What a cruel old woman. Serves her right for ending up bankrupt and homeless. I admired my freshly done diamond manicure and spoke briskly. If he can't hold on, call 120 for your young uncle. It's not like I own the hospital. I was still stomping my feet in anger over the live comments, calling me an old hag. Cecilia Gu paused, then spoke hesitantly. Sister Fiancé, didn't you always want to marry young uncle? He's been drugged. If you come be his antidote now, he'll marry you immediately. I'd wish you both a lifetime of happiness. Her tone was full of grievance, and she even began sobbing softly after speaking. Anyone hearing this would think I'd bullied her. I frowned while listening on the phone. Sure enough, the live comments were overflowing with sympathy for her. Baby sis's little tears break my heart. The female side character clearly wants to get with the male lead, but pretends to refuse. So fake and disgusting. This pretentious girl, here's a bold guess. She drugged him herself, counting on baby sis being kind and beautiful enough to call her over to cool him down. Look how he's about to lose control. Even like this, he still won't touch baby sis. He's totally in love. What a bargain for the female side character. Even a stray dog could tell she's been wanting to sleep with the male lead for ages. Well, I did want to take Ian Gu down. After 3 years of dating, we've done everything except take our clothes off. I once asked Ian why he kept avoiding going all the way. Was it my figure or my charm that fell short? He pondered for a moment, then answered seriously, let's wait until we're engaged. I want to be responsible toward you. It dawned on me then, and I nearly apologized for my own lewd desires. Who knew the rigid Ian Gu had such ambiguous entanglements with his little niece? Had I known about their little schemes earlier, I would have kept my distance from Ian. I don't like love triangles. And drugging someone? That's utterly baseless. For starters, Ian is my legitimate boyfriend. Sleeping with him is only natural. As the only daughter of the richest man, with a fortune in the billions to inherit, why would I risk breaking the law and ending up in jail over some bedroom affairs? My great-grandma would probably rise from her grave at midnight to slap me. No. I won't take advantage of someone's vulnerability. I cut off Cecilia Gu's speech. The top priority now is to call 110 and 120. You should hang up and report this immediately. She fell silent, clearly not expecting me to say that, and sounded bewildered when she spoke again. Sister Fiancé, are you really not coming? Young uncle really needs a woman right now. If you just come. I interrupted her and warned sternly. Cecilia Gu, you're an Ivy League graduate after all. How can you still cling to that objectification of women just because he needs a woman? I should rush over in a panic to satisfy him. Didn't your teachers teach you that using drugs to render someone unconscious for sexual acts violates Article 237 of the criminal law? Forcible indecency and insult? Have all your ethics and law classes over the years been wasted? We should report this kind of criminal behavior. If you won't make the call, then I will. An ambulance took Ian Gu to the hospital. Fortunately, the drug wasn't too strong. By the time I reached the hospital, Ian had already had his stomach pumped and was moved to a general ward. When he saw me enter, he quickly reached for my hand. Cecilia Gu, who had been sitting by his bed, stiffened and awkwardly stood up to make room for me. I didn't decline, sitting down with a cheerful smile. The live comments began cursing at me, but I felt not a shred of guilt. So what? I'm the official girlfriend. Shouldn't this seat rightfully be mine? Ian Gu turned to her and said, Fiancé is here. She can take care of me. You should head back first. My smile didn't fade as I glanced sideways at Cecilia Gu. She nodded, looking on the verge of tears. The live comments were heartbroken. Huh, male lead. Keep pretending. It's clearly you who can't face your own moment of attraction, scolding and driving baby sis to tears. No matter. Even though the drugging plot was forcibly altered by the female side character, that pretentious guy will surely get his comeuppance. The chase to win her back, though delayed, will arrive. Spoiler alert, the male lead is about to propose to the second female lead, and baby sis is going to suffer again. I squinted in confusion, double checking to make sure these live comments weren't a figment of a split mind. According to them, even if I forcibly twisted the plot, no matter how much Ian Gu seems to love me now, in the end he'll still divorce and break with me for Cecilia Gu. Could it be that Ian Gu truly loves Cecilia Gu the most? Just as I was lost in thought, Ian's gentle voice sounded, Fiancé, I've made up my mind. Once I'm discharged from the hospital, let's get engaged. I've spoken with my parents, and Uncle Lou and Auntie are very supportive too. I think it's time. I abruptly turned to look at Ian, meeting his deeply affectionate gaze. At this moment, my heart was in turmoil. Should I trust the man I've loved for years? Or the seemingly all-knowing live comments? Cecilia's timid voice chimed in. Young uncle, Sister Fiancé, will you still live in the current villa after you're married? Would I be disturbing you? Ian and I both turned to look at her simultaneously, and Ian frowned. She lowered her head, wiping away tears. Or I could move out on my own. If it really doesn't work, I could apply to study abroad. The live comments flooded with insults directed at me, even though it was Cecilia who made the suggestion herself. The comments blamed me as the vicious female side character trying to drive away their baby sis. Ian was the first to speak, his tone filled with concern. What nonsense are you talking? My home will always be your home. I raised you myself, and no one can drive you away. Cecilia Gu looked at Ian Gu with deep gratitude, but then took a deep breath and forced a smile uglier than tears. Young uncle, you and your new wife are still in your honeymoon phase. It's not good for me to be here all the time. I'll be fine. I can live on my own when young uncle isn't taking care of me. A little loneliness won't hurt. She looked at me with glistening tears in her eyes. I sneered inwardly. So that's why she suddenly brought this up. She was setting me up all along. Cecilia knew Ian couldn't bear to send her away, so she passed the ball to me. She must have thought a proud young lady like me, who can't stand the slightest flaw, would demand she move out. That way, Ian and I would clash, and she could play the victim, killing two birds with one stone. I peeled an orange and said leisurely, no need for that. If you want to attend university in the city, go ahead. Don't make it seem like I'm forcing you out. Just get a bigger villa, like a 2,000 square meter one. I refused to believe we'd still disturb each other then. What's the big deal? Throw some money at it and buy a huge house. Problem solved. This is a domineering CEO novel. After all, a mere 100 million isn't something he can't afford. Ian Gu smiled with relief. Dawn really thinks of everything. Unbelievable. She's the one who took over baby sis's man and house. Yet he's praising her. The female side character is too shameless. I can't stand it. Poor female lead. When will the male lead finally wake up? Humming contentedly, I ignored the screen full of vulgar insults directed at me. It's not like I absolutely have to marry Ian Gu, even though letting go of 15 years of feelings would hurt deeply if a real rift forms between us. I'm not the indecisive type. I could accept it if Ian Gu, after careful thought, realizes he loves someone else and we eventually part ways. But I absolutely refused to admit defeat without a fight. Wedding planning kept us busy. After Ian was discharged, we immediately booked the venue, bought the diamond ring, and notified friends and family. On Wednesday, we scheduled an appointment to try on the wedding dress. I have to admit, Ian-gu truly dotes on me. He specially flew in an overseas designer to custom make it for me, all handcrafted with real diamonds, every inch of lace sewn by top-tier artisans. The price of this wedding dress alone could buy an entire apartment, Ian said. As long as Fiancé likes it, the cost doesn't matter. The wedding planner suggested filming Ian's reaction when he first sees me in the dress, to later make an MV. Ian agreed without hesitation. No problem. I'd love to capture the moment my wife stuns me. But unexpectedly, Cecilia, who also showed up that Wednesday, Ian said he asked her to come help out, reasoning that as girls, it'd be more convenient for us. I wanted to argue that I'd brought 3 personal assistants and didn't need extra hands, but seeing Cecilia's inexplicably shy demeanor, I stayed silent and entered with everyone. It took over half an hour for me to finally put on that priceless wedding dress. The moment the stylist finished my hair, her eyes lit up, as expected of the Liu family's eldest daughter. The moment you stepped out, you radiated pure queen energy. Ian-gu watched intently as I descended the long staircase, the light in his eyes sparkling like stars. He wrapped his arm around my slender waist, whispering, "Fiancé, you're breathtaking." I nearly forgot how to breathe. The photographer snapped away enthusiastically, asking if we'd authorize the video for his public account, praising us as the perfect match, destined to go viral. Only Cecilia, who stood nearby, her eyes red from crying. I mentally clicked my tongue in annoyance. Though accustomed to Cecilia's constant melancholy, her drama on my wedding dress fitting day was truly grating. Yet, I maintained the gentle smile befitting an elder sister. In-law, Cecilia, why are you crying? Are you feeling unwell? Hearing this, Ian also turned to her with concern. Startled by the sudden attention, she widened her eyes in panic and forced a smile. I was just moved, seeing young uncle and auntie find their happiness. I'm so happy for you. My heart sank. This was clearly not a look of happiness. Silly girl, you'll find your own happiness too. Seeing her tear-streaked face, Ian-gu couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy, comforting her gently. When you get married someday, your young uncle and I will accompany you to try on wedding dresses. She shook her head sorrowfully, but the one I love, halfway through her sentence, she looked up at Ian-gu, her gaze full of melancholy, then said defiantly, "Anyway, I won't love anyone again, and I won't get married." Ian-gu and I both paled. She took a deep breath and said in a very soft voice, "Fiancé, I have a request. Could you let me try on your wedding dress and take a photo with young uncle? I don't mean anything by it. It's just that I might never marry in this lifetime, and I just want to know how it feels to wear a wedding dress. Fiancé, is that okay?" My 3 assistants and the planner, upon hearing this, all wore expressions of disbelief, trying on someone else's custom wedding dress and posing for photos with another's fiancé. Her little scheme was obvious to everyone, only the live comments were defending her as always. Wear it, wear it. Once our baby female lead puts on the wedding dress, the male lead will realize the rose he's been nurturing has unknowingly blossomed into a stunning beauty. Hope the female side character doesn't get in the way. Her marriage is just a tool to make the male lead regret it. Cannon fodder should know their place. The female side character's sour face is so ugly. What's wrong with letting baby sis tried on? Is she afraid of being outshone and the male lead realizing she's past her prime? Without a second thought, I flatly refused her request. My bust is fuller than yours. This low cut style would just sag on you. Besides, this wedding dress was custom, made for our ceremony. You're not the bride. Wouldn't it be inappropriate for you to wear it? Cecilia, flushed with embarrassment, gritted her teeth, and fixed her pleading eyes on Ian-gu. Ian-gu patted my hand. How about letting her try it? We'll have a few people assist her with the fitting. We'll be careful. It won't get damaged. I stared at him in disbelief, then said coldly, "Why don't you two get married right here? I'll gift her the wedding dress as a congratulatory present." Fiancé, you know that's not what I meant. Everyone noticed the tense atmosphere and didn't dare to make a sound. Only the designer hurried over to take her hand, trying to smooth things over. We have many more wedding dresses in different styles. Miss Gu, why not come with me to take a look? Some designs would suit you better. Cecilia Gu remained motionless, quietly watching Ian Gu. I let out a cold laugh, immediately got up, changed clothes, and left. Ian Gu chased after me, seeing me open the car door. He quickly took the keys and got into the driver's seat. Chensi, Cecilia is just young and immature. Don't they say every girl dreams of being a bride? She was just having fun and wanted to try it on. There's no need for you to be angry with a child. Haven't you been a bit too sensitive today? The live comments started cursing again. Male lead, are you blind? Why are you comforting her? This drama queen is so annoying. He was still rambling on. I asked calmly, is she genuinely curious? Or does she want to be your bride? Ian Gu, you know better than I do. He suddenly slammed on the brakes, and we both nearly bumped our heads. But he ignored everything else. His face flushed as he hurriedly explained to me, Chensi, don't overthink it. She and I are just uncle and niece. Really? I asked him, word by word. Ian Gu, do you swear you don't know she likes you, and that you have no feelings for her? Ugh, this female side character talks too much. Couldn't this wait for the male lead to figure out slowly? If she spills the beans, how will the plot develop? So annoying. I want to see her suffer and watch the male lead go through the groveling trope. His face flushed and paled alternately. Quite a spectacle. His speechless defensiveness told me everything I needed to know. I thought I'd build a tough mindset from all the live comments, but facing his hesitation head on still left me easily wounded. Ian Gu, let me out here. I need some time to cool down. For the next few days, Ian Gu and I didn't contact each other, and the wedding planning progress was put on hold. The live comments also stopped appearing. I realized the live comments only showed up when Ian Gu or Cecilia Gu were present. Probably the power of being the main characters. Just as I was wondering if Ian was going to call off the wedding, he called, Chensi, I'm really sorry about what happened the other day. I've thought it over carefully these past few days. I don't love her. It's you I love. As for Cecilia, I'll have her handle things on her own. I'll make sure she moves out right after the wedding. The silent live comments suddenly became lively again. Why is the male lead apologizing to the female side character? Follow your heart. He's clearly torn up inside, hasn't slept for 3 nights. If he likes the female lead, he should go for it boldly. What's with the male lead forcing himself to believe he loves the side character just because of what others think? I didn't respond. After waiting a moment, he tentatively asked, Chensi, I've made plans with some college friends tonight. They want to throw us a pre-wedding party. I'll pick you up at 9, okay? I was just worrying about how to bring it up with Ian Gu, but he's giving me an opening. Sure, I replied readily. Ian chuckled lightly on the other end of the line, sounding relieved. He didn't bring Cecilia Gu to this gathering. Seems he's really made up his mind. With his arm around my waist, he laughed and downed toast after toast, wishing us eternal happiness and early parenthood. Soon growing a bit tipsy, amid the clinking glasses, he leaned close and whispered in my ear, Wife, we're definitely going to be happy. I neither agreed nor disagreed, just kept waiting for midnight to arrive. Suddenly, a clamor of young men and women erupted outside, one shrill female voice particularly piercing. It was unmistakably Cecilia's voice. She was screaming, Ian, and I leaned out to see what was happening. There was Cecilia, being forcibly held by a tall young man. The guy had a hand behind her head and was forcing her to drink a large mug of beer. Drinking alone is no fun. Little lady, let Big Brother play with you. Guaranteed a good time. Cecilia Gu struggled desperately, screaming young uncle, save me, over and over. Ian Gu immediately released me, his face darkening. I scoffed inwardly. Cecilia sure had some tricks up her sleeve. What a conveniently timed coincidence. Ian excused himself and immediately charged over with the wine bottle in hand. The scene left our classmates exchanging bewildered glances. The atmosphere was unnerving, so I had no choice but to steel myself and follow him out. Cecilia acted as if she'd just noticed us, crying out in feigned shock. Young uncle, Sister Chensi, what are you doing here? I rolled my eyes. She'd just been screaming for young uncle to save her. This girl's acting skills needed serious work. Ian grabbed her wrist and pulled her protectively behind him. With his other hand, he swung the wine bottle straight at the other guy's head. I wanted to stop Ian, to urge him to think calmly, but it was useless. Rage had already clouded his judgment. The bottle shattered against the boy's skull, sending glass fragments flying. A thumb-sized shard of glass flew onto my collarbone, leaving a shocking gash. Blood and pain gushed out simultaneously. "Chensi, you're bleeding," a female classmate at the party exclaimed. I reached up to cover it, warm blood coating my hand. My assistant rushed over in a fluster to stop the bleeding. I looked at Iangu. He seemed to have entered a mental state entirely foreign to me, deaf to the chaos around us. His face ashen as he stared at the boy, writhing and screaming on the floor. He held Cecilia Gu tightly in his arms, shielding her as she curled into a ball. Our friends glanced between me and Iangu, momentarily at a loss. He cradled Cecilia Gu. "Are you okay? Young uncle is here. Don't be afraid." The male lead must finally realize his true love is the female lead now. Even though the female side character got hurt for no reason, I'm thrilled. Nothing can stop the male and female leads from discovering their true feelings. "Wow, so domineering. I love it, the female classmate beside me whispered. "This hero saving the beauty is so convincing. Anyone would think she's Iangu's fiancé." I heaved a heavy sigh inwardly. I had originally planned to break up with him after the event ended, because after midnight, it would have been exactly our 3-year anniversary, a neat beginning and end. I never expected my moment of sentimentality to turn into a lifelong embarrassment. In front of everyone, my fiancé shielded another woman, completely ignoring my injury. I hated my own sense of ceremony to death. The beaten boy clutched his head, howling in pain. "Bro, I didn't know she was your woman. I saw her drinking alone and thought she was looking for a one-night stand." Ian Gu turned to Cecilia Gu with reddened eyes, fury blazing in his gaze. He demanded sharply, "Think you're all grown up? Who said you could come drinking in a place like this alone?" Hearing that Ian didn't deny their relationship, a faint glimmer of delight flashed in Cecilia Gu's eyes. She looked at Ian, brimming with grievance. "I'm unhappy and wanted to come out for a drink." "Young uncle, aren't you getting married and abandoning me? You said it yourself. I'm an adult. Drinking with whoever I want is my freedom." Ian Gu stood silently in place, the corners of his eyes reddening. "Cecilia, I told you young uncle will always protect you." Hope welled up in Cecilia Gu's eyes. The people around awkwardly lowered their heads, pretending not to understand, while occasionally stealing gossipy glances at me. The assistant leaned in and whispered to me, "Miss, should we call for backup?" I shook my head. "Don't interrupt young Master Gu's heroic rescue. Let's go to the hospital to dress the wound. Luckily, it's just a superficial injury." After leaving the hospital, I slept soundly until dawn. The moment I woke up, gossip about Ian Gu was everywhere. The gentle, refined second son of the Gu family got into a fight at a club over a woman. The social circle was in an uproar. Some had already been teasing him, openly and subtly, for favoring the groomed mistress trope by keeping Cecilia Gu by his side. Now it's as good as confirming the rumor. Sure enough, the top searches were all about hashtag second young Master Gu fights for his beauty and hashtag Ian Gu screwed up his raising project hashtag. Ian and I have always kept a low profile, so not many people knew about our relationship. We originally planned to announce it officially at our engagement, and the company's PR department was even worried that the traffic would be too overwhelming, potentially crashing the corporate account. Little did I expect my fiancé would make headlines first. For another woman, a trending topic about a jealous brawl in a nightclub, reading the vivid online portrayals of Ian and Cecilia Gusso, called Raising Project Romance. For a moment, I couldn't tell whether the cut from last night hurt more, or my heart did. The doorbell rang, and there stood Ian, looking haggard and unshaven. "Chensi, I can explain what happened last night." Live comments popped up, defending him. "What's there to explain? Male lead? You clearly love our female lead. When will the male lead finally see his own true feelings? So frustrating. I didn't let him in, just raised my phone toward him. Need an explanation? The trending topic already spells out clearly. Ian Gu. It's more appropriate for us to discuss breaking up. The drama queen is back at it again. What a clever retreat. 2. Advance move. Honestly, if I were the female side character, I'd really break up with a boyfriend who gets into fights over another woman. Upstairs commenters. Whose side are you on? The female lead is our male lead's true love. He acted impulsively for love. What's wrong with that? But the male lead's current girlfriend is the female side character. If he doesn't love her, he can break up. What's this drama for? How can such a wishy-washy man be the male lead? The quality of male leads is really declining these days. I didn't want to engage with the mixed opinions in the live comments, but clearly, some people were starting to see the light. Ian Gu said, "Fiancé, you know full well the truth isn't what the media wrote. How much I've loved you all these years. You understand that deeply." I was speechless. I knew very well that Ian Gu truly loved me. All these years as childhood sweethearts. Since we were young, Ian Gu vowed he'd only ever marry me. He gave up the chance to study abroad for me and enrolled in a local university instead, just because I was homesick and didn't want to leave my parents. He tore up all his study abroad documents against his family's wishes. He remembered my favorite snacks, my preferred colors, even the timing of my period. He gazed softly into my eyes. I haven't forgotten our promise at 15. I said Ian Gu would marry Chloe Liu. A wave of intense reluctance washed over me. "Ian," I said gently, "send Cecilia away and clarify everything online. Will you? I want to give us another chance." Ignoring the rows of I knew it mockery in the live comments, I anxiously awaited his answer. He looked troubled and hesitated before responding. "Chloe, can't you let her stay a few more months? I promise she won't cause trouble. As for the online rumors, if I clarify publicly, people will mock her for falsely accusing her of being a homewrecker. How could a young girl endure that cyberbullying? Maybe we should drop it. Truth needs no defense. You know I love you, Fiancé. Once you're married, spend more time with Cecilia, and you'll see she's really just a simple-minded kid. Don't harbor so much malice toward her." I laughed. Ian Gu thought I had finally forgiven him and said with relief, "You finally come around, Fiancé. I will love you wholeheartedly." I sneered. "Wholeheartedly? Ian, it's one thing to lie to me, but don't lie to yourself. Cecilia is in her 20s. It's normal for her to go out for a drink. Was it necessary to fly into a rage and hit someone without even asking? I was the one who got hurt yesterday, yet you didn't even glance my way. Is this how you treat your fiancé? And when Cecilia asked to try on my wedding dress and take photos with you, don't tell me you didn't understand what she meant. Yet you actually tried to convince me to agree. Cecilia may be dramatic and attention-seeking, but all of this happens because you allow it. You always give her hope, making her believe she has a chance to win your love. Everything that's happening now is entirely your doing." Ian was still struggling desperately. "Fiancé, it's not what you think. Why can't you just humor her like you would a child?" I couldn't hold back any longer and burst into loud laughter, laughing until tears streamed down my face. In Ian Gu's eyes, his little niece was pitiful and fragile, unable to bear public criticism and grievances. Then what about me? I'm clearly his fiancé, yet now I'm being mistaken for the other woman. Who's considering my feelings? This indecisive man who wants to have his cake and eat it too. I pulled my hand back from his tight grip. "Ian, let's break up. I'm tired." I slammed the door shut, ignoring Ian's thunderous knocking behind me. I buried my head in the pillow, tears soaking the bedsheet. Childhood sweethearts for over a decade. 3 years in love. Letting go was excruciatingly painful. Ian kept watch outside my door for 3 days. I lay in bed, drifting in and out of sleep for 3 days. In the end, from not eating or sleeping for so long, he collapsed to the ground and was rushed to the hospital. This incident finally alarmed both our parents. The first weekend after I decided to break up with Ian Gu, my parents invited the Gu family over for dinner without consulting me. Ian and Cecilia sat at the table, their expressions unreadable. I wanted to turn and leave immediately, but both sets of parents pleaded with me to stay. Then it occurred to me, I wasn't the one feeling uneasy, so I sat down firmly and ate with ease. Ian, as usual, peeled shrimp for me, without even looking up. I silently pushed the peeled shrimp onto the table. Before the meal ended, I made up an excuse to leave the dining room, preferring to space out in the garden. At some point, Cecilia appeared before me. Sister Fiancé, I came to apologize. She knelt in front of me, on the verge of tears. The live comments flooded with sympathy for her. Baby, don't apologize. She's the one who stole your love. She doesn't deserve your apology. The female side character is so vicious. The female lead is trying so hard. Can't she just let her have the male lead? The phrase, the rich are heartless, perfectly describes this kind of woman. She has everything, yet still fights to take from those who have nothing. I said impatiently, I've received your apology. So can you leave now? She still didn't move. Sister Fiancé, if you broke up with young uncle because you were jealous about what happened that night, I apologize and beg you to forgive him. That night was just a coincidence, and young uncle only wanted to protect me. You misunderstood. Sister Fiancé, please don't doubt us. Young uncle and I are completely innocent. If you do this, he'll be heartbroken. I shot to my feet. Are you done yet? I opened my phone and tossed it to her. Whether you planned it or it was a coincidence that night, you know the truth. Do I really have to show you the evidence to prove you wrong? If you truly wanted Ian and me to have a happy marriage, you wouldn't have pulled all these tricks. She turned pale when she saw the reservation records the club manager had sent me on my phone. Cecilia if I'm not mistaken, you're not here to apologize. Sincerely, you're afraid the family will cut ties with you. Her expression was displeased. I guessed right. Rumors are swirling that the Liu family called off the alliance marriage because the family's adopted daughter stirred up trouble. The family threatened to cut ties with Cecilia Cecilia came to apologize now because she can't bear to lose everything the family gave her. I won't marry Ian You should leave. As for how the family handles their relationship with you, that's not my place to interfere. Seeing my firm stance, her fearful expression vanished, replaced by a face full of hatred. If you won't accept my apology, then I'm sorry, but you leave me no choice. As she spoke, she moved closer to the edge of the swimming pool. Just as I realized what she was about to do, she plunged into the pool with a splash. The winter pool water was bone, chillingly cold. Cecilia thrashed in the water, screaming for help. I stood by the pool, watching coldly. This woman really triggered my idiot intolerance. As the household of the richest man, did she really think our poolside had no cameras or lifeguards? I shouted Axel, and a muscular man rushed out from the servants' quarters. In the blink of an eye, Cecilia was rescued. Everyone in the house came out. A crowd watched us nervously as Cecilia burst into tears first. Sister Fiancé was angry with me, so she pushed me into the pool. Please don't blame her. As long as she feels better. It's okay. I'm fine. Mom and Dad looked at her skeptically. Cecilia, are you sure Fiancé pushed you in? She nodded pitifully, then shook her head. Her conflicted expression made everyone see her as the victim. For the first time, the live comments began to shift. Seriously, is this okay? 9 out of 10 novels use this cliché framing tactic. It's so outdated I can barely watch. Hey, classic tropes win hearts. The brave get love. Baby, sis was forced into this. Forgive my bluntness, but this kind of deceitful romance is hard to swallow. Ian frowned deeply, his gaze toward me filled with complexity. There was disappointment, but also relief. Fiancé, even if you want to vent your anger, you can't go this far. What if someone had died? Can we let this matter rest? Cecilia has suffered enough to apologize. Show mercy where it's due. TSK, another fool. I gestured for the butler to pull up the footage from the poolside. Cecilia face paled drastically, trembling even more violently than when she was first pulled from the water. The video proved my innocence. Ian's face turned paler than paper. He stammered incoherently, weakly defending himself. I didn't know. I really didn't know. I thought, I'm sorry, Fiancé. Ian, you thought I pushed your innocent little niece into the water just to vent, didn't you? He lowered his head guiltily. That whole drama she staged. If not for the video evidence, I'd have had no way to clear my name. Do you still think she's innocent now? He weakly lowered his hand, his gaze towards Cecilia, who tinged with reproach. It's not like that, Fiancé. I was just worried about Cecilia and spoke impulsively. I will definitely marry you, and I'll have someone take care of those online rumors too. I'll be devoted only to you. Please, stop making a scene, okay? I burst out laughing. Ian, you disgust me. His face flushed with embarrassment of being exposed, yet he still refused to let go. Clutching my arm tightly, he scolded sharply. Fiancé, we've come this far. The whole world knows we're getting married, and both families are waiting for this union. If we break up now, how will we explain it to everyone? Be reasonable and stop this nonsense, all right? Does it matter whether I have feelings for her or not? She's just a kid I've taken under my wing. Once I marry you, you'll rightfully be Mrs. Gu. I quietly met his eyes. His usually gentle puppy dog gaze was unusually angry. Ian, I finally understand. You insisted on marrying me not because you truly loved me. He grew impatient. How is it not love, after all these years together? Ian, no matter the cost, I want to break up. Cecilia sobbed uncontrollably, apologizing to Ian repeatedly. Ian's parents were furious, immediately cutting ties with Cecilia on the spot. Ian, if you insist on keeping that little tramp, don't bother coming home. Ian's father delivered the ultimatum. I expected Ian to resist, but he just nodded silently. Do as you say. Then he turned to me. Fiancé, must you destroy what we've built over all these years? Live comments flooded in again. Never expected the ending to turn out like this. So delusional. Suddenly, I'm rooting for the female side character. She gives off strong, self-aware female lead vibes. First time learning rich families even have lifeguards on standby. Mind blown. I had no interest in watching their drama, so I turned and went upstairs. It's late. Time for my beauty sleep. The land in the west of the city is going up for sale tomorrow. I need to represent Lou Group at the signing. This breakup mess with Ian can't interfere with my work. The next evening, after the celebration banquet for the land auction, I drove home. Ian was still waiting for me at the villa entrance. I'm sorry about yesterday. I stopped in my tracks. Ian, is I'm sorry the only thing you ever say to me? He was momentarily speechless, only able to lower his head silently. After a long pause, he finally said quietly, Chloe, I don't know how we ended up like this. I sneered. Do you really not know? Ian, if you've developed feelings for Cecilia Gu, just say it outright. There's no need to make excuses with me. I'm Chloe Liu, the eldest daughter of the Liu family, not some woman you can just settle for. If you'd honestly admit you've fallen for Cecilia Gu, I might still respect you as a man. Ian turned pale and stood there stunned. I didn't want to waste time with him. You want to have your cake and eat it too. Did you ever ask me? After publicly announcing my breakup with Ian, I threw myself entirely into helping my father manage the Liu family's business. I focused fiercely on my career, and the Liu family's business expanded even more than before. I checked the rich list. My billionaire heiress status has climbed even higher. As for Ian Gu and Cecilia Gu's aftermath, I've learned quite a bit from the barrage comments. Cecilia thought that without me, Ian would be with her, but that wasn't the case. When Ian found out about the things Cecilia had done behind his back, he was furious. Her image as an innocent, kind-hearted girl shattered completely. He planned to send Cecilia abroad to salvage our years-long relationship, but Cecilia refused, drugged him, and got pregnant. With a child on the way, she assumed Ian would definitely marry her. Sadly, he still refused. He despised her even more and kicked her out outright. Cecilia went on a social media rampage, branding Ian a pervert who slept with his niece and plunging Gu Group into scandal. A massive boycott successfully bankrupted Gu Group, leaving Cecilia stunned. Once Ian was broke, what was left for Cecilia to love? She immediately abandoned the child and latched onto another wealthy man. Late one night, Ian Gu sent me a message. Chensi, I was wrong. Live comments said he was crying like a dog. I wasn't interested in what he thought he'd done wrong because I'd received an email, a consortium inviting Liu Group to expand into the H Republic. As the eldest daughter of the Liu family, men were merely accessories to me.